It's time for panel discussion. The topic of panel discussion is yoga as a means and the end. Our first panelist is Dr. Karine Martin from France, chairman of the French Taoist Association. Dr. Martin is PhD in pharmaceutical sciences and in the religious studies of Taoism at the Chinese University of Hong Kong. She is ordained a ritual master and a priestess of the highest rank from the Taoist Complete Reality School. She is the founder and chairwoman of the French Taoist Association. She is regularly invited to represent Taoism at international conferences in universities or institutions such as the UNESCO. Our second panelist is Swami Nardananda Paramhansaji from Northern India. He studied at the Gurukul system and graduated in philosophy. He completed his masters in Ayurveda. He initiated into the teaching of Shaktipat meditation system in Siddha Master Swami Shivom Tirath Maharaj. He founded Siddha Ashram in the holy city of Ujjain, India, and founded the Siddha Mahayoga Ashram in Brazil. He travels through India, South America, Europe, and Northern America, leading to all the opportunities find the Siddha Masters indentured, giving the chance of awakening from a deep awareness to show us the truth about the same, leading us to the unity of being. Our next panelist is Ms. Rumi from Japan. She is a yogini and a motherhood yoga teacher. She studied English in Japan and studied in Australia as well. A life incident during a pregnancy changed her life and started teaching general yoga by then. She joined a course to get trained at one of the Japanese maternity yoga organizations and started teaching pregnancy yoga. She started teaching at a women's clinic and a women's center. She went to Sydney to study birthlight prenatal yoga and baby yoga courses and became the first birthlight teacher in Japan. She helped many women to get rid of their fear of childbirth and worries in parenting. They learn how to deal with their emotions by breathing, stretching, and relaxing. Nowadays, she teaches face-to-face regular classes, baby yoga with father classes, online classes, and supports for mother and babies in a very early postpartum. Our next guest is from Australia. She is Karine Shellshear. She comes from a background of social research, planning, policy, and community development, an advocate of social justice. She has a Master's of Philosophy in Housing. She has been a teacher in higher education and was president of Australasian Association of Yoga Therapy. She is trained in the tradition of Krishnacharya and remains a student of Dr. N. Chandrasekhan and Saraswati Vasudevan. She presented a paper on the use of chakras in yoga therapy at the International Yoga Therapy Conference in Japan in 2018. She's teaching synchronized breath focused yoga, incorporating guidance for a calm mind, strengthening and revitalizing the body and restoring the whole system. Today's panel discussion will be moderated by Dr. Vikrant Singh Tobar, convener United Consciousness. Dr. Tobar is an acknowledged trainer, academician, scholar, writer, and a management consultant. He's a freelance trainer and served the cabinet ministers of state, MLAs, police officers, and tycoons of the business world. His aim and objective is universal brotherhood and happiness through harmonizing the knowledge from the ancient scriptures into our lives. So I welcome all our guests for panel discussion.
Namaste, everybody. I welcome guests from all parts of the world, and I welcome participants and viewers also from all parts of the world. We acknowledge your presence, respected Rumi ji, respected Karine ji from Australia, respected Karine ji from France, China, and respected Swami Nardananda ji from India. Dear friends, there are two definitions of yoga. Yuj melne or yujre iti samadhi in Sanskrit. So yuj melne means one, it's yoga is something when you connect with the divine, with the higher. It is one definition of yoga, your connection with the higher. Another definition of yoga is yujre iti samadhi. That is, any path that leads to a balanced state of mind called samadhi. So, yoga is also a goal, as in to connect with the divine and get liberated. And as a means, it is a path through which we walk to gain a balanced state of mind and a happy living. So, this is the topic of our discussion: yoga as a means and as an end also. So, better to begin with the means and then we'll reach to the end. So, we have variety of amazing experts with us who will help us to talk about how it is a means. So let's begin from the beginning. We have an expert of prenatal yoga with us, Rumi ji from Japan. So when I say let's begin from the beginning, let's begin from before birth even. And Rumi ji is an expert of what they say at times, labor without pain, making delivery even a beautiful experience. So how yoga contributes in prenatal well-being of mother and child both. This is a question to you, Rumiji, and I will be needing a quick and short answer of it. Please.
Okay. Yoga as a means for prenatal. Yeah, first, pregnancy makes a big change in women's life. Physically, there are a lot of changes by baby growth in her belly and hormonal change. And emotionally, women will face to anxiety and fear, and nervousness to safe childbirth, and they will experience social changes. They sometimes have to stop their career to give birth. So for those changes, yoga can affect very well. So yoga, by doing yoga during pregnancy, yoga can eliminate such unpleasant symptoms and minor troubles such as pains, pelvic pain, back pain, shoulder ache and headache and heaviness and swollen legs and sleeplessness and stress, things like that, because adapted version of yoga for pregnant women can open space for babies by stretching and by breathing and loosening, and even not only physically but also emotionally. By relaxing deeply, they feel fetal movements better than usual.
Wow.
Yes. Many students tell me that, wow,
Okay.
it is moving.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Yes.
Yes. And that experience will have pregnant women let go of anxiety.
Thank you.
Yeah, they will learn how to let go of fear little by little, and they will prepare for birth. To prepare for birth, they have to open their pelvis and they have to make babies come out from them. And relaxing and opening is the key, I think.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yes.
Rumiji. And yes, as you, Rumiji said, that yoga, when a female conceives, she has hormonal, physical, and emotional changes, and she at times has to compromise her professional and at times social life also. It leads to pain also, but introduction of yoga at the right time will not only physically create space for the baby, but mentally also. When a lady becomes more stable, like in India, when a lady gets married, she is called Shrimati. Shri means divine, higher. Mati means mind. She reaches to a higher states of consciousness. And that's why she is called Srimati. And she said that, Rumiji said that baby will have more physical space and mental stability when mother performs yoga. Amazing contribution in creating a better world from the beginning. Thank you very much, Rumiji. Now we will come to Karine ji from China and France. She has done her whole education in China, researching into Taoism. And as Rumiji told, that it helps mother to connect with the baby and parents connect with the baby. Now, another meaning of yoga is also my connect with self. So Taoism is a complete science of my connect with myself and my connect with nature. So would you like to explain and elaborate something about it? How I can establish my yoga with self? Karinji.
Very much for to share with beautiful. Actually,
Karinji, I'm afraid your mic has to be fixed because your voice is not clear. I will again raise this question. Maybe you may need to switch the network because your voice is not clear. So meanwhile, we'll come to Karinji from Australia, but we will stick to the Karinji only, whether she or he. So Karinji, you have been one of the leading person in Australian yoga therapy, and you have been working with professionals, corporates, and different walks of life people. How yoga has contributed in holistic well-being of people? How does it actually contribute? Because there are many people who have never started practicing yoga. They want to know, how does it actually contributes?
Yeah, I think first of all, we, as you know, in the West, yoga takes off as a physical exercise, and that's really quite disappointing because it has so much more to offer. And once that opening starts to happen in the physical body, we start to crave for more and start to study, and then we understand that yoga is the most extraordinary life journey. And that life journey takes us from the materialistic dominant paradigm to much more subtle states of being. So we move through the Panchamaya, we move from the Annamaya to the higher states, to the Anandamaya, and in between we learn to utilize the breath, we learn to control and discipline the body and the mind. And we learn to come in touch with our deeper self. And this is an extraordinary journey of life where we're basically given a roadmap. Patanjali offers us a roadmap to life. It's a hologram of how we can live our life better. And then we have the 8 limbs that are really directional, a directional guide as to how to live our lives, how to behave towards others, moral code, and how to react and respond ourselves. All the time we are observing our own reactions in the world, and we are seeing ourselves and trying to move through to higher states. And I think people in the very stressful corporate lives that people lead, there is conflict, and there are situations where we look at our own emotions and look at how do we overcome these feelings, and how do we come back to the homeostasis where we are centered and responding from the heart, not just from the analytical.
Yes, yes. I'm so sorry. In the interest of the time, I had to. But Karine ji, yes, Karine ji, as she mentioned that it's yoga help us from physical Annamaya Kosha to go further towards Anandamaya Kosha. She said that it's the science of breath, body, and mind. It's the roadmap of life and a hologram of happiness. She says the world itself is a reflection. Once you work within, it starts reflecting outside also in this otherwise stressful world. Thank you very much. We'll come to Swami Nardananda ji from India. Nardananda ji, a lot of talk we have done so far about my connection with self, my connection with parents also, as Rumi ji said and Karine ji said. Now the bigger question is, yoga is also my connection with divine as an end, that this is my salvation. Yoga is a means, mode, instrument of salvation, nirvana. So people from different parts of the world who has not even started with yoga, but they want to, they have read in some book, begin with the end in mind. So the end is Kavalyam or Nirvana. So we want very specific answer from you, Swamiji, how yoga can lead to Nirvana.
Thank you very much, Tomarji. You are really giving a very good opportunity to, to this world, to humanity. I am living in Ujjain. In scripture, also Ujjain was a city of yoga. In scriptures, they say Yogi Pura, city of yoga. And why cities of yoga? Because if you heard about Gorakhnath Maharaj, Yogi Gorakhnath, Yogi Matsyendranath, Yogi Bhartrinath, Yogi Gopichand, and Yogi Vikramaditya. And also Yogeshwar, Bhagwan Krishna, he got learn yoga and all other 64 arts here in Ujjain. And also like her, Yogeshwar and Yogeshwar. Yogeshwar is Lord Shiva. So this is the city of Lord Shiva. So definitely I have to tell you. And also the main, like who gave a new dimension to yoga, our Patanjali Maharshi, he lived in Ujjain. He did sadhana in Ujjain. So Ujjain is a very, very important place, and I am living here. So only I would like to tell you about that. Actually, yoga is not, you cannot bind yoga in like a few things. Yoga is you can say our life, part of our life. And every traditions, people add yoga, like Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Tantra Yoga, Mantra Yoga, or everywhere you can, yoga you have to add everywhere. So normally there are many different yogas are there, different way to realize this ultimate truth. But if you categorize yoga, so you can tell that there is only two in two. One is effort based and another is effortless. Sometimes people say, so what is the meaning of effortless? Because normally everywhere, all paths, all traditions, they teach that to do yoga you have to do something. Without doing you cannot get nothing. But there is a one process of yoga, if you heard about the Shakti path. So it's called Siddha Mahayoga. And normally what happens with yoga? Yoga, when you do yoga, and ultimately one state come, and then you are doing nothing, but everything is happening. Like I can give you one example. Like there was a very great, well-known saint. His name was uh, Mahaprabhu Chaitanya. I think everybody knows that he
Yes.
was very powerful saint in Hare Rama Hare Krishna traditions. And when his master gave him mantra, Hare Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, and he chanted this mantra with full of love, with full of devotion. And one day he feel this mantra, he is not chanting this mantra, but this mantra it looks like chanted by him. It's automatically happening. He was surprised what is happening. Maybe it is my imagination. And when he slept, even then he was feeling that this mantra is on all the night. And when he wake up and he saw this mantra is on, so he was, maybe what happened to me? Maybe some I lost some balance, and then he decided to visit his master and would like to ask what is happening to me. So he went to his master, and he told all his experiences. And then his master told, "Now your true yoga start."
So,
Because
yes.
actually, what happened? We have in different scripture we have different theme like Kundalini Shakti or in
Swamiji, if you don't
Mahabhav.
mind, actually, in the interest of time, we need to rotate the discussion fast. So,
Hmm.
if you can conclude, because we are also running against the time, also, Swamiji.
Okay, okay. So only I would like to tell you.
Yes,
Uh, so one yoga, like effortless yoga.
yes, yes,
This is
yes.
by if you have a very great Siddha master,
Hmm.
and he can open your inner awake, and then this yoga is automatically start to happen.
Thank you, thank you.
And
So,
very few
Swamiji's,
masters are there like that.
yes,
Like
yes,
Vasisht Maharaj, he was a
yes,
great yogi, and
yes,
he
yes.
gave, like in very short time, he like Rama, he recognized what he is, and he could enjoy. So
Thank you.
just in short words,
Okay,
but
thank
I
you,
do
thank you,
not
Swamiji.
know. Yeah,
So
but it's
Swamiji
okay.
said that the yoga is an important part and art of life also, and there are many ways, bhakti marg, karma marg, and gyan marg he mentioned to realize the ultimate truth. And effortless and effortful. The effortless path goes through Shakti path, he said, and it is also called Siddha Mahayoga. He mentioned the story of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he mentioned a story how you may initiate chanting the mantra, and but later on mantra starts chanting you. Like he gave example of Vashishta, and even Ramakrishna Paramhans gave Shakti Path to Swami Vivekananda. So now it was one point how you can reach to the higher, maybe by the grace of your guru and by the grace of divine. Now we'll come to Karinji. Karinji, Taoism has worked a lot in the science of connecting with the cosmos and the nature. So, in the interest of time, I'll request you to speak only in 2 minutes, in brief, how to connect with the nature, what Taoism says, because yoga also says to connect with the cosmos. Yes. Karinji, you may need to unmute. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Much to share this subject. So, as you mentioned, the way Taoism see it and many higher spirituality also is that to connect with yourself allows you to connect better with others, because connecting to yourself is connecting to the truth of who you are. Then you are able to connect to the truth of whoever is. And we are all one. It's unity actually behind all the diversity that we see around. So once you've reached that state, you are at one with the higher, like the divine nature and others as well. there's a sense of peace in your heart. So you can communicate and interact with others in a very smooth and fluid way. So really all those practices like yoga, meditation, qigong, tai chi, everything that leads you to look inside will give you that sense that you are one with everything. So really, I have a lot of respect and appreciation for any practices that leads one to look inside for the truth and then become happier, more peaceful human being that can
Thank you.
has an impact on the society.
Thank you. Thank you. Karine ji said that it is the Taoism is the path of truth. Once you understand the truth of self, you understand the truth of surrounding also. And a person who is in peace with self will be in peace with others. If you are not in peace with others, then please take care whether are you in peace with self or not. Because as Karine ji from Australia said, that world is your own reflection. So she said that instead of Googling what is around, let's start searching what is inside us. That's amazing. Now we will go for a quick second round of discussion. This round, every speaker is permitted with 1 minute to be very precise and tell us few practices for our audience so that they should go back with something to do tomorrow onwards. So we'll come to Rumi ji. People, whosoever are watching us, mothers, ladies who have conceived or would be mothers. So for everybody, even the parents, whosoever would be parents, give us one practical tip and exercise which will they do practically. We understood philosophy in round 1. Now second round, we will not talk about philosophy. We'll talk about a practice, a executionable practice. So you have 1 minute, Rumiji. Tell me a small practice with audience from all 56 nations of the world would like to do it from tomorrow morning. And thank you for that. Yes, Rumiji. 1 minute you have.
Okay, so I'll tell you my favorite breathing exercise, which connect left hand on your chest, right hand on your belly, breathing, feeling your left hand, breathe out, feeling with your right hand, breathing, left hand, breathe out, right hand, breathing yourself, your heart, breathe out, your womb, maybe your mother.
Wow, that's amazing. I loved it. I did it and I really felt it. It is said in India that the path towards the heart of a man goes through the abdomen. Fine. So good. It is good for male and female both. And connecting with the child, it's a very good idea. And connecting with self also. Maybe you may like to connect with your organs also, 2 organs at a time. Thank you very much. Now we come to Karine ji. Any method, any tip, executionable tip.
Actually,
Karine ji, Australia. Yes, Australia. Karine ji, Australia.
Which one?
Australia. Which one?
Okay. Well, I would certainly recommend Nadi Shodhana, which is a cleansing practice with the breath. And that is to take the thumb and the 4th finger to hold the right nostril, to breathe in through the left, to linger for a few moments, and to breathe out through the right. To breathe in through the right, linger at the end, and breathe out through the left. I think at least 6 rounds is incredibly calming. It's very peaceful, it's grounding, it brings you back to a state of centeredness. It's a very useful tool to have in your toolbox.
Thank you. Thank you. Karine Martin ji from China. Good practice from Taoism. Very less about this way of life people know in many parts of the world. So, an excellent practice from Taoism you would like to suggest?
It's also we also use breathing practices. One of my favorite one is to first use your attention and feel the ground your feel that you are in Mother Earth, and so you
Your voice,
feel the weight.
we could not listen. You have to speak
Sorry.
again. We
So
could
you
not
first
hear you.
okay. You have to feel the weight of your body on the ground, on your feet. You feel the contact with the earth on your feet. And then you start breathing with your belly. It's abdominal breathing. You put your two hands on your belly and you feel your belly going up and down on each breathing. So that's how suddenly the whole body can relax and feel grounded. It's a very simple exercise you can do anytime when you feel rushed, angry, not stable. Immediately it will bring you back to stability and clarity of mind.
Thank you very much, Karinji, regarding this grounding exercise, feeling the Mother Earth, and then belly breathing. Thank you very much, Swamiji. Lots of knowledge from your treasure of lots of knowledge. One practical tip for all the audience: 56 nations are listening to us.
Actually, all yoga will lead to realize and enjoy this ultimate truth or ultimate happiness. But this is very important. Like how much you are connected with your devote with your practice. If you have full of love, full of devotion, full of dedications, and you are very honest, and then definitely all yoga they can give you this state of consciousness.
Thank you. Okay. So, Swamiji suggested that whatever you do, if you do with love and devotion, everything will start giving you returns. So, dear friends, let's conclude this discussion today with one liner message to whole world. So we'll come for every expert for one full stop message which you want to give to the world on this International Day of Yoga. So we will come to Rumiji, a message from Japan, birth life, and an expert of prenatal to whole world. What one line you would like to dedicate to the whole world on this International Day of Yoga?
Well, yoga is a gem to all women, even to, of course, men, for babies, for kids, for whole family, maybe for dogs and pets.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yoga is the gem for all. Karinji from Australia, one message for whole world.
I'd like to come back to the poet T.S. Eliot, mid-century poet, who said that at the end of all our exploring, we shall arrive where we started and know the place for the very first time. I think it beautifully sums up the journey of yoga.
Perfect. Yoga is the journey from self, with self, to self, into self. Amazing. Thank you very much. Karine Martin ji, your message.
And
Your
that
voice is not coming clear. Your voice is not clear. Your voice is not clear. Can you come closer to the mic and speak again? Yes.
and being
Karine ji, I'll suggest if you can write in the chat
Yoga.
box. If you can write in the chat box in the interest of time, I will read it for the audience. Swamiji, one-liner message to the world.
Actually, yoga is the way. I am not telling just Patanjali yoga. As I told you, all sadhana is yoga. With this yoga, only you can, we can say, in Vedanta philosophy, they say Jivan Mukti, like living liberation. You can enjoy this living liberation.
Thank you.
With this yoga.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Swamiji. So, Karine ji, have you written it?
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. So Karine ji says there is no other path than peace and truth, and we should use any means at our disposal leading to that state, and yoga is an important tool. There is no other path than peace and truth. So, dear friends, let's conclude our wonderful discussion today. We had Rumi ji who said that when a woman conceives, then it's a hormonal, physical, emotional change for her, and she sacrifices career and even social relations for that, and she goes through lots of pain. Yoga can be a great remedy for labor without pain. It's not only physical pain, even emotional turmoil can be avoided, and she learns how to let go. And the method she told about breathing, one hand on heart and one on abdomen, and she said it's the gem for every being on the earth, not only human, even animals, because they also breathe. So they also remain in yoga itself through breathing. We have Karine ji from Australia. She said that from all 5 koshas of the body of or our existence, from Annamaya kosha to Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanmaya, and Anandamaya kosha, she said that it's the connection of breath, body, and mind. It's the roadmap of life hologram for happiness. It is the how we reflect world around. She said that 6 rounds of relaxation, meditation, breathing she suggested should be there, and she said that yoga is not a movement from somewhere else. It is coming back to the self. And then we have Swami Nardananda ji from India. He said that yoga is an art, and by bhakti, karma, and jnana, you can reach to that ultimate truth. And it can be effortful, effortless also. For effortlessness, you need a Shakti path that comes from a able guru. She said it is Siddha Mahayoga. He gave example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Vashishta ji also. And he said, whatever you do with love and affection, love and devotion, whatever you do with your pure heart becomes yoga and leads to Jivan Mukti. We have Taoism expert Karine ji. She said that how you can connect with self, then only you can connect with the surrounding. So trust in self is the trust in surrounding and the supreme also. Peace with self is the peace with surrounding and the supreme also. So instead of Googling outside, let's start Googling inside and put our feet firm on the ground, being grounded, have belly breathing, and understand what you are. Thank you very much, dear friends. This is the message from United Consciousness through the people watching from all parts of the world. Thank you very much, all the respected guests. Namaste.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Thank you.